how can a classic be brought back to life? Here's how. I was really sad to read in the last month or so that due to the closure of the CITV channel, the revival of the classic children's series How was cancelled. And I was really disappointed by this because this was one of those revivals that did well. One, because the format is just timeless, and also because the execution, I thought, had a nice mix of modern and classic. Now, for those not familiar with the TV show How, it first started in the mid-60s via Southern Television. It was devised by Jack Hargreaves, who was also a presenter on the programme, along with people like Bunty James and a young Fred Dinenage. It ended in 1981 before being resurrected 9 years later as How To by Southern's successor in that region, TVS. That then passed over to Scottish Television when TVS lost their licence, and in 2006 it was cancelled due to lack of funding and perhaps a changing of the ways as well. I mean, that show had been on air for like 16 years, but it showed you that you can't keep a good format down. Even more so because in 2020 it was revived for a third time by Terrific Television, Nick Ayling and co. It was made at the Maidstone Studios, which, if you know the history behind that, it's amazing. And it brought together 3 new faces: Sam Homewood, Vick and Frankie Vu. And they brought this new energy, but there was a little bit of the old energy in there. There was a bit of continuity because Fred was back as head of How. He is the only person to have been in all 3 incarnations because he was a main presenter of How To alongside Gareth Jones. And that's a consistent presenter. And yeah, definitely consistent along the whole lot. And I was delighted because to me, you had some new Hows in there, some stuff that didn't really make sense. I guess it was a bit gimmicky. But then at the same time, I loved the way that they mixed the old. You know, they'd spend 10 minutes going off on all these various things, doing what that format does best. And then Fred would come on and say, I remember a time when I made a long egg, essentially, or whatever, you know? So this was all very exciting when I saw it. I've watched it with my son. He loves it as well. And we're very sad that it's been cancelled because this is one of those formats that could have just gone on and on. And in its middle incarnation, in fact, in its first 2, it went on for years. Maybe they should take a step towards doing what was originally intended. It was originally intended to be an adult program. Maybe they should bring it forward a bit. But then, you know, it's just a marvelous show. And I do think you should check it out. Both series, around 10 episodes each, are on ITVX right now. Watch them before they disappear, before somebody thinks that it's not worth being up there anymore, because it is worth being up there. It's educational, it's fun, and for those who remember when ITV had regions, I love the fact that this is still calling back to that stuff. I love when they find a use for old stuff and use it in something that is new. Nice little appearance of the Southern Television logo as well. But yeah, How was back. Hopefully it can be saved at some point, but if it isn't, go and check it out, because if you loved How To, I know a lot of people of my generation remember How To. I loved it. Everybody could watch it. And this new one, just go and check it out.